All right, we're going to start by going through the checkpoints and servicing a mini tractor. And this is a 25R mini tractor, so that's a 2 series tractor in our language. First thing we're going to do is we're going to open this hood. Ready? And that's to remove the panel, and that gives you access here to your fuel filter and your oil filter here. Air filter here. Air filter same. You want to remove the cap, which it's a pull there, turn, twist, and pull off to access your primary and secondary air filter. Yeah. You want to inspect, as we're going along, we're going to inspect these fuel lines here on diesel, because you know diesels run a little rough and they tend to shake a lot. So if the clamps are loose, that's why they're clamps. It could cause one of these lines to break. You'll see signs of fuel leakage or something like that. But you want to check those and make sure everything's tightened. Check your coolant reservoir here. Fill between the lines, no more than that. You want to check your radiator. Also, you want to check your battery and make sure your battery is not. Your battery cables are tight, no corrosion or anything like that. All right, we're going to also check our hydraulic oil and fluids. You want to pull your dipstick and you want to check and make sure your hydraulic oil is at that full level. I believe it's a 100-hour service, then we're going to change that oil. So we're going to change the hydraulic oil filter and the oil, which is underneath the vehicle. And while we're under there, we can lube the drive shaft. Also, we can check anything that may jump out at you as bent or damaged in any kind of way, or loose. But we do a thorough inspection on all of our equipment. We also want to check your front axle oil. You have a access here to check your front axle oil, and if it's low, we're going to check it anyways, but we're going to check the hubs, make sure, because there's seals around these hubs that you want to also look at and make sure they're not leaking or anything. Check your lug nuts, make sure they're torqued at the right foot poundage. Check your steering arms and make sure they're not bent. You will want to also check all of your hydraulic hoses. Grease points here on your loaders that you definitely want to keep lubricated, even as a customer. Most of what I would do is check my parking brake, but I would check that from the very beginning when I come in, because once I pull it up, if it rolls on me, I know it needs an adjustment or replacement or some type of repair. I would check that. I want to check all my levers and make sure there's no binding or anything in any of my levers, that there should be smooth. All right, we want to also make sure you check your lights and make sure that all your lights are working properly. We look at our PTO shaft. If you have an implement as maybe a rear cutter or a belly mower, you want to also operate that. Of course, you're going to pull that belly mower off, and you want to check all the components of it to make sure it's working properly. But you want to engage your PTO, make sure it's working, and with no issues or no leakage or anything.